Hi, Charles.
Hi, Alastair. So you are Alastair.
I'm Alastair.
Spelt with an A.
Spelt with an A, very good.
And what did your mother call you when you were young?
When I was in trouble, Alastair. And when I was being a good boy, Ali.
So what should we call you?
Ali, I think, is probably the safest.
And if ever we call you Alastair, you're in trouble, okay? That's right, exactly. Okay. It's an absolutely fantastic delight to be with Alastair. I've only known him a few months in the... Ali, thank you.
I'm in trouble already.
I'm just retraining myself right now. So, fantastic delight to get to know you. And I want to ask you first, we're thrilled that God led us, but also He led you. What was it that drew you to this post?
Well, thank you, Charles. And I do want to just say, to begin with, thank you so much for coming today and for sharing in this celebration with us as we enter this new season. Just as we entered the church and we met a few people, my son Joel, who's 9, said to me, "Everyone here is so nice." And that's a lovely thing to say. So I think the first thing I want to say is why I was led to this role was that people are so nice here.
That's enough. That's enough. Thank you very much.
That's not about it. But I'm also really inspired by the history of CMS, 220 years of incredible history. So I really feel like I'm standing on the shoulder of giants. But probably the third and probably most important thing is I genuinely felt called to this role. Indeed, the role is an answer to prayer. So, yeah.
What kind of prayer were you praying?
A challenge?
Okay. Well, this is a perfect timing to ask the next question, which is what you're looking forward to, because you actually joined the office just a few weeks ago, didn't you? So you've had a chance to prepare well, and I watched and listened to you preparing very well. And then you joined the office, and I've heard very good vibes from everybody about your presence. But the honeymoon's still on, isn't it?
It is.
So what are you looking forward to?
Well, it is, again, the people. I'm absolutely loving having meetings, back-to-back meetings, discussions with everyone. Absolutely loving that. I'm really excited to meet Moses and Namchen today. It feels like 5 weeks has been a long time before I get to meet you face to face, and I'm really excited next week to spend some more time with you. And I suppose the bigger task is to reimagine what mission looks like for this generation. And I think between Bishop Anthony, Namchen, and Moses, we probably have most of the answers already if we listen.
I must ask you a bit more about that question then. Do you expect to have a role in what mission looks like in the future?
Well, I hope so. I think I bring a bit of experience about the UK context, but lots to learn. So that's my starting posture.
And in the office itself, physically in the office here in Oxford, what have you enjoyed the most about that so far?
Well, I think it's the people. It's such a welcoming environment. I felt it on the morning of my interview. I think you said to me at sort of 2 o'clock, how are you feeling? Are you energized? And I felt like I could have carried on for another few hours, which is a great sign after a morning's grilling. And I think that's the way it's continued. I feel like I've been on a bit of a wave.
Okay, so what do you think will be the hardest thing?
Well, the hardest thing so far in the first 5 weeks is actually meetings finishing on time. And I've had Janet often you probably mostly know Janet, knocking on the door saying, "You've got to get on to the next one." So that's been one of the biggest challenges. I guess as we reimagine what mission looks like for the future, to make way for the new, we might have to let go of some old ways, former ways of doing things that are not necessarily helpful anymore. And that's not been a problem yet, but I could imagine it might be a challenge down the line, but we'll see.
And finally, you're not superhuman, almost, and this job is a very absorbing, very demanding, worldwide job that's going to take much of your life, not just your time. And so the question is, I think you're a real human. What do you like to do in your spare time that's not CMS?
Well, one of my great passions is cricket, which happens to be the backbone of the Anglican Church. And also, I love music, particularly singing. I was loving the worship earlier. I think the worship band were absolutely fantastic. But I guess when a family comes along, I've got a wife and 2 children, as I said, that sort of takes up a lot of any spare time there is. And I think there comes a time for every dad where they sort of want to pass on their love of cricket and sport and anything else onto their children. So I'm giving that a good go. I don't quite know how good I am at it yet, but we'll see in a few years' time.
Brilliant. Alastair, welcome.
Thank you, Charles. Bless you.